Okay, morning ride. I can't help it. I have to show this Portuguese sky that I love. Um, it's amazing. Take a look at the contrast between the trees and the blue sky. It's amazing. These kind of days are really good for my health and well-being, as you can imagine. Yeah, so before I put up this kind of last video where I talk about not wanting to talk about current events anymore because I think it's a wasted effort. Nobody gives a damn anyway. When I started putting videos up, I wasn't really trying to monetize it or work the algorithms or build an audience. It was more or less a hobby, as I've said. And I was hoping maybe a few people would engage with me in conversation or collaborations or whatever, but I never found anybody randomly on the web through my channel that was interested in that. Very few comments and all that. So it's kind of a waste of time. So I'm going to do different things now. But anyway, once in a while it's fun just to, share one little thought or something. Might take a few minutes. And one of those today is I was listening to this overpopulation podcast thing, degrowth space. So it's a hot rail issue. It's verboten. It's anathema. It's it's not something that even the sustainability people or the climate crisis people want to talk about, because it crosses the line in so many ways. It's complex, but I'll link that podcast. You can listen to it if you want to. But anything that threatens markets, it's not going to happen ever until there's a huge crash or something major happens. It's just not going to happen ever. Nothing's going to threaten markets. You won't get any funding if you talk about degrowth. So you have to talk about green growth. Nothing is going to, you're not going to get any funding if you talk about depopulation in any sense. That's just not something you can broach. So it's never going to come up. Nature has a way of depopulating species just naturally, and it doesn't have volition or will in the same way we think of it. But nature, it's all interconnected, and complex networks of living things are very complex with emergent qualities, very interrelated, interactive, interconnected. And there will be a time when the overshoot really impacts us, and our population will dwindle. It'll just happen. Or maybe we'll just kill each other, one way or another. Or make more mistakes that we can't really find solutions to. Just like thinking that climate change is an engineering problem. We're very deluded, very arrogant creatures. And so the growth's going to continue. We'll depop naturally at some point. But it's an interesting subject because people really do a lot of science and a lot of honest, sincere thinking about this. And it's an interesting subject. And none of our leaders know anything about this stuff. And they don't care because, honestly, all the careerists around the world and the politicians and, corporate leaders and whatever, think tankers and NGOs, they serve capital. This isn't ideological. This isn't about capitalism or communism or socialism. It's just a fact. We serve markets because we have to. This is the way we survive in the modern techno-industrial world. And so we can't avoid it at all. None of us can, which is why people like me get frustrated, because you just realize there's not going to be any collective action. People aren't going to get together and make a difference because they have no power to do so. And all of us, regardless of what we do to raise awareness or educate people about these things, we're not going to have any real power to affect any change. But it's interesting still, it would be amazing if we did have the capacity to think things through and do something about it, but we don't. So that's my thought for the day. All right, take care. I'm going to go and ride my bicycle in this blue sky. Isn't that nice? I think so.